Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. So imagine this, and it might not be too hard to do so. You find yourself in a situation where you're almost stuck. In this situation, you're stuck between knowing what you really want to do and almost feeling obligated to do something else. What do you do in this situation? Which option do you choose? Do you stick with this obligation, even if it's not actually something you have to do? Or do you make the tough choice to do what you really want to do? Add some layers on top of it and say that if you do what you really want to do, you think you're going to hurt someone else, you're going to upset someone in your life. Which one do you choose? Do you choose to fill your own cup first and make sure that you're at your best? Or do you let yourself get weighed down? Do you let yourself suffer in order to make someone else happy? I can tell you this, what I see most often is people choosing the route of suffering, the route of their obligation, because they at least can imagine what their suffering is going to be like. If someone tells you that you have to do something, or say they signed you up for something, and you know you don't want to do it, even though you don't want to do it, but you plan on going through with whatever it is you have to do, you can imagine what that's going to feel like. It's easy because you know you're going to be uncomfortable, or you're going to be in pain, or you're going to be upset. You know what you're going to experience there. And the reason it's easy to guess and understand how you're going to feel is because you know you're not upsetting another person. You know that they'll be happy and you know how you'll feel. There's almost a sense of comfort or certainty in that decision. Now look at the flip side. The flip side is following through with doing what you want to do. This is where you know what the right thing to do in a situation is. You choose to do the right thing. The right thing may be for yourself. It may be for a family member. It may be for one friend instead of a bigger group of friends. The reason that one's more difficult is because you'll know exactly how you'll feel. You'll feel happy, you'll feel proud, you'll feel grateful, you'll feel calm, but you don't know how someone else will react. You don't know if they'll thank you for your honesty, for doing what's best for you, or they'll get angry that you changed their plans because you didn't follow through. I used to follow the other people's plans in my life. Like whenever someone had something for me to do, I would just do it because it was easier to just follow their plan than to rock the boat with my own ideas. But because of that, I was always so hard on myself. I was always so upset because it was almost this feeling of weakness, this feeling of sadness coming from this thought. Philip, why can't you stand up for yourself? Why can't you just say what you want? Why can't you do what you want? One day I got so fed up with following this pattern that I said, no, I am going to make this choice for me. And that's different from making a choice for yourself when it's not affecting anybody else. This was the type of choice where I was purposely going against what someone else wanted for me. I've done it many times over the years, but some of the biggest have been things like dropping out of college or quitting my job when I had no other job lined up. I knew by doing those things, I was going to confuse, maybe even upset a lot of people. They're going to have questions. They're going to have ideas of what I should do next. And in those bigger moments, it was truly a learning experience to teach myself how to stay true to what I wanted. And it's important to be clear on what it is you actually want, because I can already hear people saying, well, that's easy to say, that's easy to believe, but I have responsibilities, I have things I have to do. At no point have I believed that what I want is a life without responsibility. Like when I say I'm going after what I want, that's not an easy life. I'm not looking for an easy life. I'm not looking for a life without obligations. What I'm looking for is a life that has its challenges, because in my challenges I learn and grow. A life that has its obligations and responsibilities, but obligations and responsibilities that light me up inside, that make me excited to get up in the morning. You can only achieve something like that when you really believe in what you're doing. Sometimes that's given to you, sometimes you make it for yourself. I make a choice every single day to follow my own heart, because when I follow my heart, I'm filling up my own cup. I'm making sure that I have the love and the energy and the space to think clearly, to act clearly, and to actually move towards the outcome that I actually want to have in my life. If you're not clear on what you want and you don't have a plan or a vision on what you want to create, the world will give you one. The world has a way of filling in empty space. So if you have an empty space in your mind, especially when it comes to your future, and you don't know what you want in your future, the world will fill in the blank. It'll give you something. It might be friends, it might be family, parents or siblings. It might be mentors or people you look up to. It could be a neighbor. Even a kid down the block will have an idea of what you should be doing. It's for that reason that you need to guard your mind at all costs. You need to make sure that what's coming into your mind, what's coming into your body is there for a reason. It's on purpose. It has a place, so that you're not being swayed or controlled to go in a direction that you don't want to go in. I deeply have this focus of wanting to live a life where I have no regrets. I don't want to regret the choices that I'm making. And the only way I can do that now is by following my heart. I'll never know what the correct decision will be. We're all making guesses. One of my favorite lessons I've learned over these past few years is the reality that most, if not everybody, is figuring it out, figuring life out. No matter who you see out on the street or on the internet who seems like they have their life together, does not. Or they don't feel like they do. They put on this brave face and they show up every single day taking action, and you look at their confidence, you look at their bravado, you look at their power, and you say, I want that. But when you take a peek under the hood and you really look inside their mind, when you get to talking with them, you'll find that they have the same types, the same categories of insecurities, of fears. They're wondering if they'll be loved. They're wondering if they'll be safe. They're wondering if they'll be cherished. I just don't want to reach the end of my life, or maybe not even the end of my life, maybe just my later years, wondering where did the time go and why didn't I do more? It's because of these decisions that I'm here today, that I'm here in front of you. You're listening to me because I've made a series of decisions that went against what most people in my life were telling me to do. Now, I don't know yet what the result is going to be. I don't know what's going to come of this, but I know I won't regret it. I know I'll be proud of myself for doing all of this. I share this story. I share this perspective, and I do so in all of my videos, all of my episodes, because I want the same thing for you. I want to see you grow. I want to see you challenge yourself. I want to see you change, but change in the way that you want, not in the way that the people in your life want you to. I want you to create the change so that life doesn't have to change for you. Life is happening for us, not to us. Everything that happens for a reason. Repeating those lines to myself, repeating all of these ideas that I've shared with you, get me through my day to day. If I'm really following what I really want right now, it's for my words to mean something. I want my words to have an impact. I want to be able to have people listen and know that on the other side of whatever screen you may be watching or headphones you may be listening from, there's someone who really cares. I could be awkward at times. I could be a little strange, a little weird, a little quirky. I can think differently. I could speak differently. I could behave differently. I could be something that you're not used to. Someone that helps you think in a little different way, from a different perspective, so that you're not repeating the same mistakes, the same events that you've been repeating for your life so far. I'm going to pause this here before I get too far away from the point. I'll be honest, I had other things I wanted to talk about today. I had different ideas of what I wanted to bring up. But what I love is that I didn't bring it up because I guess I wasn't meant to bring it up. I said exactly what I was meant to say. And all of those ideas that I had before, well, those will come up. They'll come up eventually when the time is right. You're going to hear this episode exactly when you need it, and you'll hear those exactly when you need those. There are no mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. For that reason, I know that if you made it this far, then you really want more for yourself, and you want to do what you want. I want you to know that I believe in you, and that even if things go sideways, even if things look like they're falling apart, I promise you that they're not. They're just falling into place. I hope you have an impactful rest of your day. Remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.